Welcome everybody back to Spinner Rack. I'm here with the crew, Petey and Kyle. And today we're going to be discussing that huge summer hit, the biggest thing we've seen in a while, Spider-Man Far From Home. I got to say, gentlemen, this is a fantastic new addition to the Spider-Man Chronicles. The franchise is just only going to build once again how great Sony was smart enough to secure this franchise from Marvel, so that
wait a second, say that correctly. Sony didn't secure it from Marvel.
Yes, they did. They
You
secured
mean when they initially bought it?
Yeah, when they bought
But I'm
it,
saying at
they
this
secured
point,
it from Marvel.
But Marvel's doing the movie.
No,
right?
Marvel is doing it in conjunction with Sony. Sony still owns the Spider-Man.
It's not clear to me, but I'll go with it now.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be for for much longer.
I think it is. Sony has it in perpetuity unless Marvel
They make
buys
the
it back.
money.
You know what I'm trying? They need the money. That's it. But we
make-
digress. The review.
Well,
The
no,
question is,
before we get into what are the numbers? Because I didn't pay attention to what
they
the
did
box
a
office
$500
was.
million last week.
Are you serious?
Yep, worldwide.
Wow.
Not at
$500
a billion yet, but they're getting there.
In
I'm,
one week. That's not bad, bro.
That's impressive. That's very impressive.
But it started on a Tuesday though. But worldwide, it went
Still impressive.
Over a weekend, it was a
Batman v
holiday
Superman.
weekend, though.
Batman v Superman started on a Tuesday.
Yeah, so you got to give it mad props. You know, what I'm trying to say everybody. But then there's a lot of reasons why that may have occurred. One, Spider-Man is naturally, like you've always said, one of the gateway characters to Marvel Comics. That's what my boy Cal has always said. And another thing is that this is like the conclusion of what happened at Endgame. So that's a big thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what some people were saying about Captain Marvel, not giving her props that she's made over $1 billion.
No.
And
No.
this. So then if you want to say Captain Marvel didn't do well, this
Don't
can't-
bring
but-
up Captain Marvel, because then we're just going to spend 2 minutes talking about that, and nobody really wants to talk about Captain Marvel.
Okay,
Not
so
her.
the point is-
the real one, maybe, but not her.
The point is that there's some correlation. But let's get to this, guys. What did you guys think of this fantastic entry into the Spider-Man Chronicles? I'll once again back the ball right over to my boy, Cal. Cal, hit us with your 2 seconds of thought.
Anyway, no, I enjoyed the film. The only biggest criticism I had is that that's such a large supporting cast, a needlessly large supporting cast at the end of the day. Because you could have gone the school trip, but you could have done the school trip with just 5 or 6 of them. You didn't really need to have this busload of kids at the end of the day. And I thought that took away from some of the overall action. But Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, was spot on. And I really like that after credits ending. I was like, yeah, it's about time. I'm tired of this nonsense. You're always walking around. Everybody gets to see who you are. And now you're wondering how the hell this happened. I was like, you don't know who these people are.
Thank you. Let me give me your initial thoughts. And we'll
Let me first say the positives. I liked all of the Mysterio
Thank you
stuff.
very much. That's it.
That was
all right,
a
so
lot
let's
of fun. The high school trip, the Aunt May. Even though I like Marissa Tomei as
I knew that had to come.
we know you have a hard on for her, boy. So.
That is a little extreme.
Yeah, that has
That's
to
a
be
little
bleeped
extreme.
out. Thank you.
Even though I was a fan of hers in A Different World when she was in the all-black College of Hillman.
For one season.
Yeah,
For one season. They got rid of her because she was,
they
they wanted to go in a different direction, i.e. more black.
the stories of the first season were bad, but the talent involved. But
We digress.
I digress again. But I would say the problem I was having with this was the whole high school setup, the whole blip thing, the gag of the blip. And then I think they were high schoolers, but they were almost playing younger because everyone had the same awkward reaction. They all, like Mary Jane, who had a personality, turns into this awkward around guys, and Peter Parker is awkward. And Peter Parker in the comics wasn't necessarily awkward. He had confidence in his abilities, and he'd get turned down by women when he asked them out. He'd call them up on the phone, get turned down. He'd get turned down in the first issue. So it's a different character, and I understand everyone likes that. It's kind of tough when he puts on the mask. He still stays the awkward Peter Parker when in the comics that would be his release to bring out all of this other personality and his humor. And I think there was one joke he did about the black costume of being tight, and I was like, they need a little more of that, having this little confidence to be able to say some things off the cuff and have some fun.
Spider-Man overall, to me, is one of the main. Again, I give it to Kyle. when he said it was a gateway character to the Marvel Universe. And I thought this was an excellent example of this. You know, he's a young kid, he's fun, he's getting along, he's high school. But one of the things I liked about this show is that it explained what happened. I don't necessarily agree with it, and I think that's one thing I want to bring with you guys, the whole, how Endgame dealt with that whole timeline situation. I think, but overall, the character himself, you see he's grown a bit. Not a lot, but he's grown a bit, and he's still a teenager, and he's suffering some of the consequences of what happened before with him and the death of Iron Man. You see that constantly. You see that the Iron Man image behind him, people discussing it. You know, it's pretty interesting. I think to me, though, the only failing that I have with the whole show, and I thought they did a pretty good job with the main villain. They did a good job with the Skrulls being Fury. Hey, this is a spoiler show, so we can say whatever we got to say.
No, I'm just saying the fact that they were just the nice guys.
And then and the fact, you know, we'll talk about the end credits later. But the whole thing that's been holding me back with this show, and I liked, instead of getting a 5, was 4, is Zendaya. I gotta say, I know people are gonna hate it. I think Zendaya is bringing down the show. This young lady who acts so frumpy, and this is not Mary Jane. Goddammit! I know this is a whole new universe, but come on, man. You know,
It's not Mary Jane. It's MJ.
all right, so
Whatever the hell that's
that's
supposed
my
to be.
big thing.